good boy. Yeah, that's a good boy. Good boy. Oh, hi. Welcome to the Within His Story podcast, where we find our place and rest in God's story. Today, you'll get to hear a conversation I had with one of our own His House students at NMC. His name is Ty Peterson. He'll be telling us about his life, all that God is doing in it, and we'll also hear about a few of his hobbies. But before we get into that, I'd like to take a minute to just tell you a little bit about what it is we do here at His House. You see, 5 years ago, my life changed when I was a freshman in college. I got involved with a student group called His House Christian Fellowship. These guys were committed to building Christian community on college campuses, and they gave me all the tools I needed to be discipled, to make disciples myself, to do outreach, and develop all kinds of spiritual growth. This left such an impression on me that upon graduation, I decided I want to join the His House team and work for them full time. Now I get to serve with Pat Hill in Traverse City as we do ministry on the campus of Northwestern Michigan College. It's every single day. It's an honor to watch God work powerfully in the lives of students, and I hope that you enjoy this conversation we get to have today. Ladies and gentlemen, today I get to share the screen with someone who is one of the kindest, most thoughtful, humblest people I know. When he speaks, I hope you're sitting down because he's about to rock your world. We get to learn about someone who's become a good friend of mine, has been involved with the His House ministry for about one semester so far, and he's very special. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ty Peterson. What's up, Ty?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that.
Hi, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What brought you to NMC? What is it that you're studying?
So I'm 19. This is my second semester at NMC, or second year, I mean. Just finished the first semester of the second year. I graduated from Northville High School, near like Ann Arbor area. I grew up in the UP though for like 14 years. And then I moved downstate for high school. And then I met up in Traverse City for college. It was like right in the middle. But yeah, no, I started going to NMC in 2021 in August. And it's funny because there's a few colleges I was looking at, but at first I didn't want to go to college. And then me and my dad talked about it, all that. And NMC was like just a complete like random thing. Like there was no specific reason why I went to NMC. So I think it was just like so awesome how like I ended up here though.
Yeah. How did it conveniently line up with your interests and what you're studying?
So I knew I wanted to do something with music. And I really liked making music, but I didn't want to go to college for that. I feel like I didn't need to, but then we decided that it was the best plan for me. And there were a few colleges. Western was one that I was thinking of, and like a bunch of other colleges, like including like some out of state ones, but I don't know. We just looked at like intro videos of college, like of the audio tech programs, and we were like, this one's sick.
Yeah.
And so we just like picked it. It was funny, like my dad had this map of like Michigan, and he was like, here are the colleges, just like pick one. And so I just said, okay, that one. And
That's awesome.
that's where I ended up. And I'm glad I ended up here.
Ty and I met. Let's see, it's my first semester at NMC working full time for His House, and me and Pat, we were setting up for, or we were tearing down for a welcome event that we were helping the school with, we were making sure people knew what His House was and that it was out there. And I'll let you finish the story. How is it that we met and became friends?
Yeah, so yeah, it was that like get to know everyone, like all the student groups are outside.
Mhm.
Um and I remember like everyone just walks in this big tent and like does the lap around all the tables, and like I saw you guys, Pat and his kids and Emily, and I was like I just said hi to you guys. I remember I just like said hi to you, grabbed a jar that you guys were handing out full of like some little helpful supplies, and then there was nothing more to it. I was like, yeah, okay. Then I just went around the circle of other tables. But then I went in, like there's these basketball courts that I would play on like all year last year, like right next to where the student group thing was. And I was playing with my friend Jaron, and then towards the end when everyone was wrapping up, you and I don't know who it was, but you and this guy, was it Pat?
It was Pat. Yeah.
Okay.
We're
Yeah,
just
you
like
and Pat
cooling
were
down.
sitting. Yeah, and then I like said, "Yo, do you want to play basketball?" And then we started playing for like 5 hours or something that day afterwards,
Mhm.
like the whole time. And then we started talking about God, and then Jaren and all of us did, and then more and more people came from like my dorm and stuff, and we just like talked for hours just on the court. Then that led to countless times going to meetings and prayers together, all sorts of stuff that led from us meeting that day, which I'm
Mhm.
incredibly thankful for.
Yeah, me too. As someone who works in campus ministry, usually I'm the one to approach students and hopefully start a conversation and a relationship with them. It's not
Mm.
often that the student says, "Hey, do you want to come and play basketball?" But that's just the kind of person you are, and I think it's so fitting that your involvement with His House started with you like taking the initiative with me instead of the other way around, and that's just
Mm.
a very Thai thing to do. Whenever
um,
we were playing basketball, I was astonished that all the conversations that were happening, I'm like, how is this, whether it's you or someone else, like, why are they telling me their life story and what they believe right now? And why are we
yeah,
going back and forth about, is God real or not? What do you struggle with about that? Let me tell you my story. And it was weird, dude. It was definitely, God had things in mind and he was working.
yeah, dude, uh, that was amazing. It was so funny because I also like became friends with, or we did with Jaren that day as well,
Mhm.
who we are around so much, and we're so thankful for him as well.
Yeah, I can't
Um,
wait to see him again.
yeah, I miss that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right though about like all those conversations that just like happened. I never had a conversation with like 7 people, just like we're just playing basketball, just shooting and talking, passing the ball around, talking about God. That was really out of the ordinary, but really awesome.
When we were getting to know each other on the court along with the other people who were there, you had told me, you were like, I've been a Christian for 3 months and I love Jesus. And if you could share with us, how is it that you first got to know Jesus and start following him?
Oh, good question. Um, yeah, so I always knew of Jesus growing up because my mom raised me that way. We went to church a lot growing up, but um, I never really got to know him uh, on a personal level until like, yeah, like just this past summer before I met you. And it just, I don't know, I was just like, I was in a tough time, and God, I always had like this own little like God in my head that I would talk to. It wasn't really Jesus, but that's until I started reading my Bible in like in sometime in June. Um, and I was like, whoa, like I would just read like the Sermon on the Mount, and I was just like, wait, what? Like he said this? This is what he said? And I was just like really interested. And I went from making music every day to then substituting that with reading the Bible every day. And then I was like, it was like if I wasn't working, I was sitting in my like little room just reading the Bible every single day for like hours. um and it was like really awesome. And I started building this relationship with him. And then I started going to church a few months in, like in August. And then I was like, I was on fire for him, like the whole time. And then I met you, and I was like, this is perfect. um, it was a really awesome few months getting to know him. But yeah,
Yeah, man, that's amazing. So
thanks for that question. I like answering that question.
yeah, good. About beginning of September, late August, we meet, and then the coming weeks you start to get involved in different His House things. And lay out for us what about His House was helpful for you this past semester.
Oh yeah, um, so much. I went. I started going to your Bible studies, and I would like it was a lot of learning from people on YouTube and just reading it by myself, and then getting involved with uh like His House and having a community to like one talk about like just a couple verses for like an hour, and just like really go in depth with those things, but then also have like a loving relationship with people. It's like uh I don't know, it's a win-win when you can learn and just like love it and like experience loving learning with other people.
Uh-huh.
Um I feel like I don't know, having people that have your back when it gets rough is really helpful. Community is really important. I feel like everyone in His House, I have that like trust, that they'll be there for me, if I ever need them. And I just haven't gotten that from a lot of people in my life. And it's just been like really helpful knowing that, yeah, like they're always there for me. Yeah, I mean, there's so many others like really specific things that have been helpful. But overall, I'm just really thankful for you guys.
Thanks, dude. I think we're more thankful of for you. Um, His House doesn't mean anything without the students. Otherwise, it's just me and Pat sitting on the picnic table. Uh, and I heard you say having people there for you when things get rough. Can you tell me about that? Is there anything else you want to say about that?
When things get hard, I just mean by like, when I'm doubting my faith, when I don't know what to do, when I'm trying to control the situation, and not let God have it. Um, when I'm alone, there's always somebody, at least one person that reaches out and just asks how I'm doing, wants to go get coffee, always people inviting you to church. It's a safe environment, I will say.
Man, that's awesome. Just for our listeners, a couple of the things we have been emphasizing this year are checking in with each other emotionally, spiritually, being very honest about how we feel each day and why we're feeling those ways, and then trying to figure out what is the best way for us to be helpful for one another. Sometimes that's just listening, sometimes that's praying in the moment, sometimes that is giving advice, but we let the person who is sharing determine how the other people respond. And then another emphasis
Hmm.
has been listening to the voice of God, which has been exercising for me a very weak muscle in terms of sitting in silence, maybe over a couple verses and trying to hear what it is God would like to tell me in that moment. And these things are designed to exist within a group of people. There's a reason Jesus didn't call one disciple. There's a reason he didn't send out one disciple. We're meant to build each other up, and we're meant to, yeah, build off each other's weaknesses. When I'm weak, Ty could be strong. When he's weak, I could be strong. And so that is one of the main things we strive for at His House is authentic community as God intended.
Yeah, I agree.
Recently in your life, if you look at the past couple weeks or the past month, what do you feel like God has been teaching you lately? What kind of person is he building you to be recently?
Yeah. I feel like that question once in a while is really healthy, because sometimes I feel like I ignore uh, those questions on purpose, or I don't ask myself that question enough. Sometimes it's kind of hard. Um, oh, what have I been learning? I guess like just like hard truths to swallow. I'm kind of learning and knowing that like I don't know. And also, no, a big thing I've been learning is that God isn't so much just your little homie that you can call on when you're down. He's God of the entire world. Um, and his sovereignty is sometimes a little scary to think about. Um, but also he's loving in nature and wants you with him. And that is like reassuring when you're like figuring out how I don't know, just like the seriousness of him and how he isn't just gonna uh, like God's justice is sometimes a little hard to realize. Does that make sense?
Did you say his justice is hard to realize?
Yeah. I don't sometimes I feel like it's really easy to just be like, God, I'm sorry, just bless me again. And I feel like that's just not right. And I feel like sometimes I do that. I act like God is just for me and not for everyone else. And so I think that's like a big thing that I'm learning. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I had one of my mentors at Western, his way of thinking of God, he would tell us there's three things about him that you can't remove any of them. He is holy, he is just, and he is loving. And he's all those things more than we could ever imagine. And I think when we focus on more than one thing about him, it paints a more accurate picture of like, man, God is this holy, pure, perfect being. And at the same time, he's loving, which means he for some reason wants me to like have access to him and be with him. And he's also just. He doesn't like evil. I'm glad he doesn't like evil. It must mean that he's good. Um
Yeah.
and just having these things work together and complement each other, I found has been helpful. Not simple, but helpful.
That was really good. I like that. He's holy, just, and loving.
Mhm.
You said. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I try to dumb God down into something I can grasp and like the Trinity or like what you just said, how he can be those three things at the same time, but be like but I don't know. It's really confusing, but it's not something he wants us to fully understand.
Mm.
And we don't have to. But sometimes I really want to.
Yeah. And he probably appreciates that you want to know him better. I hope when we think about those things that we want to know God better, it comes from our place of love, of God, I've seen how you take care of me, how you feed me every day. I look out my window and I see that you are currently sustaining this world that I'm sitting on. And man, I just want to know what you're like and how it is that you do these things. And let the love be what spurs us onto that instead of figuring those things out and then arriving at love. Because if that's how we do it, we're never gonna quite figure all of it out.
Hmm. Could you kind of repeat that? You said love should be the first thing you see.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I'll repeat it and I'll add something onto it. Uh
Okay.
the book of Luke and the book of First John both say they both comment on how a relationship with God should remove all fear from us. And we should be so secure in who he is. And now we have permission to wonder, who is this loving God that for some reason would want to choose me? I want to learn about him instead of the other way, like, man, he's mysterious. He's beyond my reach. And if I can figure these things out, then I'll learn to love God. But there's a reason he came to you. There's a reason the shepherd went after the lost sheep instead of the lost sheep being like, man, what is the shepherd like? What things can I do to figure out him so that I can get back to him? That's not a God way to operate. He comes and gets you, and then you can wonder as you're riding on his shoulders, who is this guy? Why did he do this for me? And where is he taking me? I don't know, but I like it. Yeah, I would hope our wonder of God isn't um intimidating, and I hope it wouldn't inspire insecurity in anybody. Do you have any other thoughts about anything I said or you said? Add on to?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think I'm all good.
Sweet. Uh, as we wrap up, I want the listeners to get to know Ty a little bit better with a couple of maybe fun questions. Okay, you can choose from these two. What's something you'd like to do someday and why? Or where is somewhere you'd like to go and why?
Woo! What is something I'd like to do and why?
Yeah.
Um, I don't feel like I want to go anywhere. I feel like Michigan has everything. No, it definitely doesn't.
I feel the same way. I have no
There's so much.
I have no desire to like leave the country or go across the country, but I feel like I need someone to spur me on and just make me do it because I think I would enjoy it.
Dang, I'm like the exact same way. My mom will like take me on vacation and I'm just like, I don't need to go. But then when I go, it's like it's freaking awesome though, dude. um,
Has
like we
there
went to
okay, so
California.
where did you go on vacation that you thought, man, I'm glad we did do this?
We went to Fresno and like the redwoods and like sequoia tree area in California. And like yeah, it's like near Fresno. Dude, that was so awesome. There's trees like bigger than my room over there, bro. It was so awesome. Yeah, like the General Sherman is what the biggest tree in the world is called, and it's seriously like my room, bro. Um,
That's
but
awesome.
that was so cool. It's like it's an entire forest of just like red trees that are just absolutely massive, and the pine cones are like the size of my head.
What?
Um, yeah, yeah, bro, they're very
Dang.
cool. That I'm glad we did, even though it was like a hike.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad your mom made you want to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, I
So
don't know. I feel like I'm okay with going anywhere. I don't know if I have like any dream location. Maybe like either like Rome or Israel, somewhere over there would be awesome. I want to like, there's like boat rides on the Sea of Galilee. I want to boat ride.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like
Yep.
to do?
I'm gonna be thinking about it for a while. I don't know. Dang.
Drop an album?
I want to make a song with Harrison.
Oh, ooh, I
No,
know him.
seriously though, I think we should.
Dang. All
Would
right.
you want to do that?
I would. You listeners heard it here first. Ty Peterson and Harrison Kramer. Yeah, I would like to do that too. That'd be awesome. Is there anything specific about next semester, this is in general, that you are really looking forward to or worried about?
Um, I'm not worried about anything. I'm really looking forward to what his house is going to be like this semester. Um, Not like anything drastic is happening, but I'm just excited to get back over there with you guys. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff around Traverse City for my degree. I have to do 150 hours of like audio help around wherever. And so I'm excited for that. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do, but it'll be fun. I'm excited for next semester.
That's sweet. Yeah, we're definitely excited about his house stuff going on. Now that we have out the beginning of the year, September is so much different than January because you know we now we have like a group who's excited about what we get to do, and we're excited to work with you guys on the best ways to serve campus. And dude, I hope you find some really cool audio opportunities. That sounds like a lot of hours, but I'm sure anything you choose would be like pretty rewarding.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It'll help me with like experience. I did basically a church thing. I helped out at my church twice a week, and so that basically got me 100 hours last semester.
Oh,
And I love helping out at my church. It's really awesome. And so, but this time I'm gonna be doing other stuff, which I don't know what that is yet. But
like setting up open mics, local bands, maybe I was gonna say a festival, but that wouldn't be till like summer.
true. Yeah, literally anything. There are the audio tech program. We do like karaoke nights. We do like whatever holiday or seasonal thing. We'll just like randomly set up something in the Australian building where people can just come and like sing or I don't know. It's fun.
Shout out to
Have fun with
Sky
that stuff.
and all the awesome work she
Yep.
does with that
Sky,
program, how she
man.
facilitates and whatnot. Well, Ty, is there anything you want to leave us with?
Ooh. Um, I love you guys.
That's a good thing to end on. Ty, thank you for having this conversation with me. We look forward to seeing you again soon and all these cool things that will happen this coming semester. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Likewise. Appreciate you, man.